Welcome to the Candle Artist Way. My name's Kimberly Patterson, and I teach candle makers just like you how to sublimate and engrave glass candle vessels. So let's get started. How to tape a glass candle vessel for sublimation. This is my design, printed from my sublimation printer. It's printed twice, meaning the paper was fed through the printer 2 times so the ink layers directly on top of itself. Whenever you're sublimating glass, always print your design twice. Glass doesn't absorb sublimation ink the way other blanks do, so doubling up the ink gives you vibrant results. Now we're going to trim the design, cutting as close as we can to the artwork itself. This helps when we tape the vessel and also reduces the chance of ghosting. As you can see, I'm using sublimation paper. If you're not familiar with sublimation, I've included a full checklist of materials in the details below to help you get started. Now we are going to cut as close to the design as we can using my handy Cricut paper cutter, but you can use any cutter. This will make it easier to apply to the candle vessel and help prevent ghosting. Here's the cutout design, and yes, it was mirrored before printing. When we tape it onto the candle vessel, we will be taping it face down onto the candle vessel. Now it is all cut out, and we are ready to tape it onto the candle vessel with our special heat tape. Our design is cut out and ready to tape. Today we are taping to a 12-ounce matte white candle vessel. You don't need a special sublimation candle vessel. This one is the 12-ounce Aura from Makesy. I also use their 8-ounce Aura. Both sublimate beautifully. It's hard to find sublimation-ready candle vessels over 8 ounces, so I recommend testing a few to find what works for your style. Now, let's tape the design onto the vessel. This step really matters because you don't want to fight ghosting or have to redo it. We'll start at the top, smooth it down, and apply pressure as we tape. Align your design face down onto the candle surface, making sure it is centered and straight. I like to leave a little extra room at the bottom, which will make it easier to tape, and again, will help prevent ghosting. Just checking and lining up nice and straight before we start taping. We gently go around the candle, starting at the top and then working our way down the sides, keeping that smooth, even pressure. I prefer this wide heat tape, and it is very easy to work with and gives the right amount of coverage. It also fits well on this fun tape dispenser. This handy dispenser automatically cuts the tape for me in just the right size. At the corners, I tape diagonally, which helps with smoothing out the bottom for taping later. The more care we take in this step, the cleaner and crisper our final design will be. This wide heat tape is so great, I don't even use Scotch tape anymore. This heat tape handles everything and does a better job. We are almost done taping, just going down the other side and smoothing as we go. Our very last piece of tape will be for the bottom, where we will take extra care because this is where ghosting likes to happen. Everything is looking nice and smooth and is flat against the glass with no air bubbles or gaps. And now for our final taping. I won't be using the pre-cut versions, but using one long piece of tape so I can apply pressure and seal the bottom off. I'm using a large piece of tape here, applying a lot of pressure as I tape around the base. Really smooth it out as you go. If it does ghost, which I don't think it will, I do have a way to fix ghosting without tossing out your vessel. These vessels aren't cheap, so that trick comes in handy. Next, we're taping around the top lip of the vessel. This is important because shrink wrap can melt into this part, and trust me, it's tough to get out if it happens. Ask me how I know. So this extra taping protects your vessel from that issue. We will use the long pieces of tape for this step, not the pre-cut pieces, and generally I can complete this step just using 2 pieces of long tape or maybe 3. This process is fast, so we don't mind doing it. All right, there is just one more step before we are ready to put our candle in our sublimation oven, and that is shrink wrapping. I have to admit, shrink wrapping is one of my favorite parts of the process. Shrink wrapping is fun. There's something really satisfying about watching the wrap tighten perfectly around your candle vessel. It's like magic, but with a heat gun. So here's exactly how we do it. We're starting with a shrink wrap sleeve. It's shaped like a tube, the kind you might use for wrapping a tumbler. But we don't need the full tube for this project. Instead, we're going to modify it to fit our vessel perfectly. Use your Cricut cutter to neatly trim off both ends of the tube. This gives you a long rectangle that's perfect for wrapping around your vessel. Once you have your piece cut, go ahead and wrap it gently around the candle vessel. Take your time here. Line up the edges so they meet as evenly as possible. Smooth out any wrinkles as you go. When you're happy with how it's wrapped, it's time to seal up that seam. Reach for your heat-resistant tape and apply it all the way down the edge where the wrap overlaps. Press the tape down firmly. This step is important because the tape keeps everything right where we want it during the heat process. Once your vessel is fully wrapped and taped, take a moment to double-check that everything looks good and secure. Give it a little smoothing out if needed. Slowly move the heat gun around your vessel, allowing the shrink wrap to tighten down gradually. Be patient here. Keep the heat gun moving and let the wrap do its thing. You'll see it start to pull in nice and snug, hugging the shape of your vessel as it shrinks. Once the wrap is smooth and fully sealed all the way around, you're ready for the next step. Preheat your sublimation oven to 390 degrees. Carefully place your wrapped vessel inside and set your timer for 6 minutes. When the time is up, remove your vessel, but remember, it will be hot. Set it aside and let it cool completely for about 20 minutes. And that's it for now. I'll meet you back here in 30 minutes for the big reveal. And here's the fun part, the reveal. We're unwrapping the candle vessel now, peeling back the shrink wrap and checking carefully for any ghosting or shifting in the design. And just look at that. It turned out perfect. No ghosting, edges are nice and clean, and the colors are holding strong. Let's keep unwrapping here. Sometimes that tape can put up a little fight, but slow and steady wins the race. My 13-year-old daughter thinks unwrapping a candle vessel is like unwrapping a LOL doll. Remember those? I don't miss them. Almost there, just struggling with a few more pieces of tape and shrink wrap. If you did have a problem with ghosting, we would be careful untaping, careful not to move the design, and retape over the ghosted part with a lot of pressure, then rebake. It beats throwing out your candle vessel, and usually this totally fixes the problem. Let's keep unwrapping here, taking our time and peeling it back slowly. I like to move steadily and not rush this part. Sometimes the tape or shrink wrap likes to hold on a little tighter than you'd expect, but that's okay. Just be patient and work your way around. The extra few seconds are always worth it for that clean, beautiful reveal. All right, almost there. I have to admit this is not my favorite part, but so worth the final result. Look at how vibrant those colors are against the glass. It's such a satisfying moment every single time. What do you think? You can really see how bold and bright the design turned out, and the best part, no label needed. The art speaks for itself. Now this vessel is fully prepped and ready to be filled with wax and a wick. Thank you so much for following along with me. If there's something specific you'd love to see demonstrated, just drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I've included your full sublimation materials checklist in the description if you're just getting started. Look at how gorgeous this is. Vibrant, permanent, dishwasher safe, and fully integrated into the glass. If you want more videos like this, let me know. Comment below and tell me what you'd like to see next.